I know. I know. I'm late, but I'm ready. Let's do it.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Wait, take.
Cowboys. Throws back of the end zone. There's CeeDee
What up, Cowboy fans? Cowboy C3 here. I had a long day today. I did. It was a long one. Had a bunch of stuff to do around here. Got caught up in this Colorado Baylor game. That was an excellent game. Baylor kind of threw that one away. But we're here now. We're here to talk Cowboys Ravens. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. here in good old Dallas, Texas, at Jerry's World. Cowboys versus Ravens on Fox. Game of the week again. Cowboys with another primetime football game, right? Betting odds are Ravens are a 1-point favorite right now, and over under I think is 46.5 points, which is kind of high. I think so, but you know, there could be a lot of points scored, and I'll tell you how, right? The Ravens coming to the game 0-2. They've lost both games on the last drive of the game. One on the last play of the game, and the other one, really, Lamar Jackson had a 40-yard run to end the game. It started that old pitch the ball back, run around crazy on the last play of the game. They're going to come in here hungry. They are. And they will not go down. They are not, not at all trying to be 0-3, like not at all. And that's the thing that the Cowboys need to be wary of. And I think that they are. I was listening to all three interviews from Mike McCarthy, Stephen Jones, and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones' interview was totally different. We'll talk about that a little bit. McCarthy was like, last week was embarrassing. We know that. We think we had a good week of practice. We think we fixed some things, right? And that'll be interesting to see what they fix. They have a team last week that was physical, and they haven't been that physical before in the past, especially on offense. They've always been a decently good defensive team, right? Talking about the Saints. Offense, they never played physical football like they did last week. And, get a new offensive coordinator, and it's amazing how when you get a good, solid offensive coordinator, how he can come in and just change the whole dynamic of a football team. Gave them a formula that worked for them. And it's that old San Francisco Shanahan style of football, which if you really look at it, man, it goes back into like the 90s style of football is all it does, right? And this run first offense, and complete passes off the play action when the team overcommits to the run. Well, Baltimore is not going to do that. Baltimore is going to come in and they're going to try to run the ball down your throat. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be physical, very physical, and run the ball down your throat. Couple of injury reports to go over first. Notable player, notable injury reports. Jalen Brooks, wide receiver for the Cowboys. He's questionable with an ankle injury. He had an incident last game. I don't know what really happened, but he's the guy that tripped and fell before the pass got intercepted. Dak Prescott's pass got intercepted. Bad ankle, questionable. I'm hoping this means Ryan Florida gets a shot. I am. And I think if Ryan Florida gets a shot, I don't think we'll have a couple issues that we'll talk about here in a little bit, because I think he may be the answer to a lot of your problems. Big physical guy, was a rookie, missed a lot of training camp with an injury. Just looking for an opportunity. And I think if he gets that opportunity, I think he can be really special. I think he can. And we'll see what happens with that. Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle, questionable with a bad back. They signed Malik Collins this week, but that was really to replace Jordan Phillips, who went on the IR. That was the player I was looking for in the last podcast. It was Malik Collins. Used to play for the Cowboys. Always pretty dependable. You see him make some plays in the run game. He doesn't mind getting dirty. Don't know how he couldn't make the Commander football team, whatever you want to call him, couldn't make their roster and was just on the practice squad, but he was available, so the Cowboys picked him up. And that's somebody that's familiar with the team. He'll probably catch on with the defense pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be available tomorrow. And his one job will be to get penetration on this defense, and we'll talk about that in just a second as well. And John Stevens, tight end, still got the hamstring issue, questionable for tomorrow. Was limited in practice all week, which is more than he's done since training camp, since he had the hamstring injury. One person that wasn't on there is Jake Ferguson. Looks like Jake Ferguson is going to go. Like, it looks like he's going. So that's a good thing. Missed him last week tremendously, and I think that it'll be a positive to have him back in the lineup. For the Ravens, notable injuries, and I'm going to get this name wrong, I promise you. Malasala Amave Laulu, starting right guard. He'll be out for personal issues. Don't know what's going on in his life, but I hope everything gets better for him. Deontay Hardy, kick returner, out, questionable with a calf. David Ojabo is outside linebacker, is questionable with a quad, and Nate Wiggins has not cleared concussion protocol yet. However, they plan on him possibly clearing concussion protocol tomorrow and being available to play, but he's still questionable with the concussion neck injury. Ravens come into the game. They are ranked 9th in the NFL and in the running offense. They are ranked 26th in the NFL in their passing offense. Even though Lamar Jackson, I think he's 9th in the league. He's got like 520 yards passing or something like that. I think he's 9th in the league in passing, but their yards per game is not that fantastic because they are a run-first team. And it's a tricky offense. It is, but they play a lot of power football, a lot of in-between-the-tackle football, which doesn't bode well for the Cowboys. Their defensive tackles have been absolutely horrible for a number of years now. They were pretty decent in the Cleveland game, but last week kind of just negated everybody's memory of the Cleveland game, how bad that they were. They were horrendous. You get Malik Collins in the pickup from the practice squad from Washington. Would that make it like a major difference? No, it won't, but it may be better than what you got. Jordan Phillips was trash last game. He was horrible. Just watching film study throughout the week of the game, and watching it Monday after the game, just watching, and they had some camera views where he was focused in on because of how horrible that he played, and it just looked lackadaisical. It looked lazy. It looked like he had no interest in being there. There's no way that you're 320 pounds and you get driven back, by a man that's, 305 pounds is still a big man, but he is literally taking you, 5-6 yards down the field. That should not happen at all, especially with an NFL defensive tackle. And what it does is it throws off everything. Linebackers have to fight through you, because you're the one that's going to get to him first, because you're literally going backwards, right? And then he's got to fight through the man that's blocking you. Then he's got to fight through the man that's trying to block him. And then he's got to go try to tackle the ball carrier. It just doesn't work like that. They have to fix that. They have to. And I'm not very sure that they have the personnel on their roster right now to fix it. And I'm not sure that they can even acquire that person right now without doing some kind of blockbuster trade. And you're really only going to get one of them, right? The other people are still going to have to step their game up. And all it is just being physical, being quick off the ball, beating your opponent to the punch. That's all it is. And they have to work on that. Mozzie Smith is notoriously slow off the ball. He's been like that since last year. And I don't know if, and maybe I need to go back and look. I don't know if that's how they play at Michigan. I'm not sure. But I remember Taco Charlton was the same way, came from the same school. So Maybe that's how they play, on the defensive line in Michigan. I'm not real sure. I highly doubt it. I don't watch Michigan very much. I really don't. But I'm not. It's bad. But he's not the only one. Linval Joseph, same way. Only one. OC Odigizua is the only one that really seems like he wants to play, right? So this is something that's going to have to be better because the Ravens are going to come in here. They run the ball 43% of the time, and they run the ball for 5.7 yards per carry. That's kind of crazy. 26 in the NFL in passing. Lamar has thrown for 520 yards for 6 in the NFL. And a lot of that comes off play action passes, right? Because they're so predicated on running the ball. However, a lot of their rushing yards also come from Lamar Jackson breaking the line of scrimmage. Breaking the line of scrimmage when the play is broken down in the backfield. Their offensive line is not that great. They're excellent run blockers. They're not that great against the pass, though. Against the pass rush, they're not. Watching the film on them, you can beat them. There will be some times where you will get some pressure on Lamar Jackson. The problem with getting pressure on him is you start to flush him out. And if you don't have a spy on Lamar Jackson, it can get very, very ugly, very, very fast, like extremely fast. And that is the key to the football game. That's key. The number one defensive key to the football game, for the key to victory for the football game, is you need to account for number 8 on every single play. Every play. Account for him. If he hands the ball off and bootlegs out to the right, you need to have somebody flying with him because eventually he's going to keep the ball and fly out there, right? And that's the thing is like they'll run tackle, and then they'll have a design run where they'll run off tackle to the right. They'll pull a guard over there, make it look like this is like 100% power football, power right, Derrick Henry downhill trying to get upfield to score a touchdown, right? And Lamar Jackson will pull it and just shoot around the left side. And your whole defense will flow to the left side of the defense. Nobody will be on the right side of the defense, and he'll be gone. He'll be gone. You have to account for number 8 every single play. Cowboys don't spy very well. They don't use a spy very much. They don't play mobile quarterbacks very well. This is like they are notorious for not playing mobile quarterbacks well in the last 10 years, right? You better play this dude well, or it's going to be, you thought last week was bad. This will get worse. The second key to the game for the defense, second key to victory for the defense is change the line of scrimmage. You have to get penetration. You have to. No diddy. Penetration. Guards pull all the time, right? But if you're shooting up the field, what you do is you throw off his angle to his pull. You may cause the center or the other guard, right, to make contact with him to kind of throw off the lead block. That leaves your running back going through the hole with no lead block. That's what you have to do. You have to change the line of scrimmage. You have to get penetration. And when I say change it, I mean change it going forward for you, backwards for the offense. You cannot allow Baltimore just to make contact and drive you down the field. You cannot do it. Not against this team because they don't have to pass. They'll just run. If the run is working where they're gaining 5.7 yards per carry, every carry, they just won't throw. They won't do it. Or if they throw, they're throwing to embarrass you because somebody's going to be running down the field wide open. You have to change the line of scrimmage in this game. Don't care what happens. You have to change the line of scrimmage. And the third thing, that the key to victory for the defense is you have to force the Ravens to throw the football. You don't want Lamar running around. You don't want Derrick Henry running around. You want him dropping back and passing. Has he gotten better as a passer? Yes. But are you afraid of him throwing the ball? Probably not. Zay Flowers is an excellent wide receiver. Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews are excellent tight ends. Rashawn Bateman is a good wide receiver. And I'm not saying that Zay Flowers is just better than Rashawn Bateman. Zay Flowers gives you more electricity, right? He can run, speed, the speed reverse. He can do all types of things, right? He can catch a 5-yard little short route and turn it into a 65-yard touchdown. He's dynamic like that. I'd much rather have Lamar Jackson trying to throw the ball to Zay Flowers to win the football game than to have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry just running around like chickens with their head cut off all game. That should be common sense. But that is the Cowboys' weakness. I think that Kalen Carson and Trayvon Diggs match up well against these wide receivers. I do. I was afraid of the speed last week, and I said it in my pregame last week. Speed kills. Keep the speed in front of you. And they did a horrendous job of it because they were so worried about the run. And another thing that I noticed about the run, corner's job, right? When you have the sweep, the toss sweep, right? Corner's job is to play outside in. Play it from the outside, pinch it back inside, make contact, and force that running back to cut back into the traffic, right? Force him to do that. Trayvon Diggs did a terrible job of that last week. Horrible. He would come in, make contact with the wide receiver, and just quit, and the running back would be like, oh, shit, and just go around it. So Trayvon Diggs just got a running back running behind him. It's like you read butts, right? You running back, you read butts. I'm reading my blocker's butt. I see my blocker's butt to the left. I'm running right behind his butt. Coming over to the right, I'm running right behind his butt. That's what I'm reading. He was running around Trayvon Diggs because Trayvon Diggs was just sitting there playing with the wide receiver. This is a game that you're going to have some contain. You're going to have to because they're going to run design runs to Lamar Jackson. They're going to run Chris Henry. Glad it ain't Chris Henry. Derrick Henry on sweeps. This is going to happen. If you change the line of scrimmage, account for 8 every play, and force the Ravens to throw the ball, you have an opportunity to win this game. If you don't do all 3 of these things, there's a distinct possibility that you're going to lose. There is. Offensively, there are some things that the Cowboys have been doing here lately that I do not understand. I just don't get it. First thing, I heard a stat, and it's kind of troublesome, right? According to Pro Football Focus, the Cowboys' offensive line, which was the biggest question mark that they had coming into the season, other than running back, right? But this kind of coincides, right? The reason that the Cowboys offensive line was under so much question is because they have 2 rookies starting. That's the only reason. And so far in these first 2 weeks, and they faced, especially left tackle. Your left tackle, Tyler Guyton, has faced the defensive player of the year and did a pretty good job against him. And he also faced the old wily veteran in Cam Jordan last week. And he didn't do bad against Cam Jordan either, right? Cooper Beebe at center, same thing. Hasn't played bad in these weeks. Terrence Steele has been the problem on your right tackle. That's been your problematic part of your offensive line. I thought he would be a little bit better coming a year off that ACL injury. Legs probably feeling a little bit better, but that doesn't seem to be the case. He seems to still be getting beat like a drum. That's not the issue, though. The issue is this. Their offensive line is blocking to where running backs behind their offensive line should be gaining 5.6 yards per carry, but they're averaging 3.2. That's a problem. That is a problem. And that's a running back problem, right? But we've said this from the very beginning that the Cowboys, their running back room is not very good. It's not very good at all. Been a lot of talk about Dalvin Cook maybe coming on the active roster. Mike McCarthy says he's not ready yet. Jerry, of course, was like, well, I didn't even know we had a running back problem. Sure you didn't, Jerry. Nobody ever talks to me about that. Sure they don't, Jerry. They probably don't because they know you ain't going to do shit about it. But anyway, they have to do better running the ball. They have to. It's not going to be this week, though, because the Ravens are number 1 in the NFL against the run, but they are 27th in the NFL against the pass. Keys to victory for the offense. You need to use the run to just open up the pass. Just open up play action. Make them be concerned with the run. Like, okay, they keep running this zone right? I mean, I don't even know what you would call it. Just a power right? And they have the zone blocking scheme. Give Dak an opportunity to hit some play action passes. and kind of get that defense off because they are susceptible against the pass, especially if Nate Wiggins doesn't play again. They just haven't played the pass well. They haven't played the pass very well at all this year. In the fourth quarter last week, Gardner Minshew ate them alive. And that's how they lost the game. They couldn't stop Gardner Minshew. Devontae Adams couldn't stop him, right? We have a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew, right? And as of lately, we have a better wide receiver than Devontae Adams. You're going to have opportunities, right? But CeeDee Lamb is going to be double covered. I promise you that. He might be double covered tomorrow just right off the line of scrimmage with the safety just playing right over the top of the corner. Like he's not going to beat us, which brings me to my second key to victory. Another wide receiver is going to have to step up. And this is not just for tomorrow. This is for the rest of the season. They have to find a second wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert caught 6 passes last week. I think that's the most in his NFL career in a single game, right? But it has to be something that they can sustain, right? You have to get separation. You have to get open. Brandon Cooks, no idea why he's not getting open. Predictability of the Cowboy offense. That's why he's not getting open. But you have to do something. And for the life of me, I do not understand. Cowboy, let me explain. When the Cowboys play, especially when they played the Saints, the corners and the safeties was just going back to about 10 to 15 yards and just playing everything forward because there was no threat of anything going down the field because the Cowboys don't throw the ball down the field that much. The only person that they throw the ball down the field to is CeeDee Lamb. That's it, right? And I don't understand it. You have Kevontae Turpin on your football team, right? You have him on your football team. Excellent kick returner. Fast dude, probably the fastest dude on the football team, right? Probably. I mean, I don't know anybody on the team that would be faster than him. Why would you not line him up in the slot and just have him just run a straight seam? I'm talking about no lateral movement, no nothing. You just run a fly. The safety has to respect that. If they just leave him one-on-one with the slot corner and it's just a foot race down the field, then that's touchdown. So the safety has to respect it, right? And that will start to open up things underneath from you. Every time you see Kevontae Turpin get the ball, and this is in the last 2 games, right? This is the only sample size that we have now, right? It's either the fly sweep, or it's like a screen pass or like a little 5-yard out. That's it. That's all you see. If you're gonna line up Jalen Tolbert at the wide receiver because CeeDee Lamb's gonna play the X, or he'll come into the slot, right? Why not put Brandon Cooks in the slot and just run him on the fly? The same thing as you do with Kevontae Turpin, just to break the secondary down. That's all you want to do is have them respect it, right? If you do 15 yards and curl, now that safety is turned and ran, and you're going to be open, right? You'll be in a little bit of coverage, but all these underneath things that you're trying to do will be open, right? They will be. And for the life of me, I don't understand why the offensive play caller, which is Mike McCarthy, why he doesn't do this. I don't know if they don't have any plays like that in their playbook. I don't know. Hasn't been something that they've done in a long time. Like if you look at the Cowboy offense back in 2014 under Linehan, and you look at the Cowboy offense now, it doesn't look that different. They've been doing the same shit since 2014. It is time for a change. You have to do something. Draw some plays in the dirt. You got iPads. You got all types of shit over there on the sideline. Just use it, right? Use it and make something happen, right? This is the game where you're going to have to do it. 2-1. We kind of forget about that New Orleans loss last year. You got an opportunity to win 2 games in 4 days if you win this game because you got the Giants, and I just don't see how the Giants can. But if you lose this game, right? If you lose this game, especially how the division is going, everybody in the division lost last week. They all 1-1 or 0-2, right? You have an opportunity to make some separation with a big win against Baltimore tomorrow, right? Big win. And then you get to play the Giants on Thursday, right? And then you get a 10-day break before you play your next game, which I think is Pittsburgh. You get a 10-day break to plan for Pittsburgh. Get an opportunity to get everybody healthy. This is the game where you need to catch fire. You have to catch fire in this game. And the number 3 key to victory is touchdowns, not field goals. Dak is going to have to wake the hell up. It is what it is. But the only way Dak can wake the hell up is somebody, a wide receiver, somebody has to get some separation when we get inside the red zone. He can't just throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb every play. Everybody know what the hell they're going to do. They're just going to double cover CeeDee Lamb. Jake Ferguson will be back this week, so that'll give him a little comfort blanket to throw to. You understand what I'm saying? A little security blanket. But somebody else has to step up. They have to, especially in this game. This game is critical. Is this a must-win game? We talked about it on the last episode, and I said it then and I'll say it now. The pressure is on the Cowboys. Anytime a good team comes onto your home turf, right? And especially in your last 2 home games, you have got your ass whooped. And you can't allow that to happen again. You can't, or the season, it doesn't look promising because like this stretch, this next 6-week stretch for the Cowboys has the potential to be really, really, really bad. They got an opportunity to not win in a month and a half after this Giants game because it gets bad, right? You got Pittsburgh, Detroit, bye week, San Francisco, Philly. And then you play Washington in 6 weeks. A month and a half without a victory. That would be horrible, right? You start the momentum tomorrow. Tomorrow is when you start the momentum. You have to. So if it's a must-win game for anybody, it's a must-win game for Dallas because Baltimore 0-3, right? We know they're going to catch. Eventually they'll catch. And they're 11-12 win team every year, right? But so are the Cowboys. Every year. So are the Cowboys. If you lose this game tomorrow, you looking at 6-11, something like that. You have to win tomorrow. With all that being said, my prediction for tomorrow, Baltimore 31, Dallas 20. That's my prediction. You haven't shown me anything. You haven't shown anybody anything to suggest otherwise. You haven't. You haven't. And I'm hoping that tomorrow is that day. Everything that I said, all these keys, all this, everything, all this rah, sis, boom, bah bullshit don't mean nothing because you have to go out on the field and play on Sundays. And it's been bad, right? Week 1, that's cool, right? You won that game. You won a road game against a quality team last year, right? You came home and laid an egg again in the place where you have consistently been great for, 2 seasons. You've been good. You've been great at home. I think last year Green Bay was the first home game you lost, right? I believe so. That was the first home game you lost all year. You cannot start 0-2 at home. But Baltimore is coming here hungry because they like, we ain't going 0-3. We ain't doing it. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be physical. It's going to be violent, right? And they are going to come after Dak all game long. They're going to attack these rookies. They're especially going to go after Terrence Steele. They're going after his ass tomorrow, right? And they're going to be on Dak. And Dak does well under the blitz, right? But somebody else is going to have to step up. Ferguson will be back. He's going to throw the ball to Ferguson. He's going to try to get the ball to CD, but one of these wide receivers is going to have to step up. Let's throw a screen pass to Deuce Vaughn tomorrow. Let's do that. Let's get the ball to Rico. If you got to run Zeke up the middle a few times just to make the defense close in, let's do it. Let's do what we got to do to win this football game. Let's do it. I hope it can be done, man. I really do. All right. Tomorrow, right after the game, we're going to be right here. We're going to be live, and we're going to talk about this football game. I'm hoping it's a whole lot better than it was last week. I really am. But I don't know. I don't like going against my squad. I definitely don't like that. But I'm a realist, right? And realistically, they haven't been very good in their last 2 home games, giving up over 90 points in their last 2 home games. Hopefully this changes tomorrow, man. I really do. All right. This is late night Cowboys C3. Once again, I apologize. Had a busy one, but I came here to give my prediction, and I'm really hoping I'm wrong on this one. I really am. All right. Tomorrow, 3:00, Fox, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Primetime TV. Let's get it done. All right, y'all. Cowboy C3. Y'all have a good night. Peace.